Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 25 largest countries in the world by population 2024. The world's population increased to 8 billion recently, according to data published by the World Bank, with nearly 3/4 of people living in the 25 most populous countries and the world's largest and second largest countries by population switching positions. Some of the fastest growing populations are in African nations, as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Nigeria each grew significantly between the last decade. Meanwhile, three of the largest European countries, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom, experienced some of the slowest population growth over that time period. These are the 25 largest countries by population as of 2024, according to the World Bank, along with data from U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 25 largest countries in the world by population. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 25 largest countries in the world by population 2024. Number 25. Italy. Total population, 59 million. Noted for its heritage and cultural influence, Italy ranked 15th overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is perceived as being one of the trendiest countries, as well as a top spot for tourism, climate, friendliness, and scenery. Italy's population has steadily declined over the past decade, falling 3% from its peak of more than 60 million in 2014. Number 24. South Africa. Total population, 59.9 million. The southernmost country on the African continent ranked number 46 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. The country's population has been on a continual rise as far back as the 1960s, and increased by 13% in last decade. Number 23. Tanzania. Total population, 65.5 million. Not assessed in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Tanzania is home to Africa's tallest mountain, Mount Kilimanjaro, and has seen significant growth over the past decade. The population grew 37% in the last decade, the second highest rate of any of the world's 25 most populous nations. Number 22. United Kingdom. Total population, 67 million. The United Kingdom, which includes England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales, is number 9 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is among the world's leading countries for entrepreneurship, economic influence, and cultural influence. While the United Kingdom's population increased by 5% in the last decade, it has fallen the last few years after reaching a peak of more than 67 million in 2020. Number 21. France. Total population, 68 million. At number 12 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, France is one of the world's leading nations for cultural influence, and is viewed as one of the most modern countries in the world. Over the past decade, the country has experienced moderate growth, with the population increasing by more than 3.5% since the last decade. Number 20. Thailand. Total population, 71.7 million. The Southeast Asian country, number 29 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, is regarded as one of the world's top destinations for tourism, and is seen as being scenic and friendly. The country's population has experienced moderate growth over the past decade, rising about 3.7% in the last decade. Number 19. Germany. Total population, 83.8 million. The Western European nation, number 7 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, is seen as a top country for entrepreneurship and as one of the world's most influential nations, both economically and politically. After its population declined by more than 2 million from 2003 to 2011, the country has experienced a resurgence of sorts, with growth of 4.2% in the last decade. Number 18. Turkey. Total population, 85 million. With a geography and culture blending Europe and Asia, Turkey is number 32 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is viewed as one of the top countries for having great food. Turkey's population has experienced steady growth over the past decade, rising 13% in the last decade. Number 17. Iran. Total population, 88.6 million. The Islamic Republic of Iran is number 87 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is regarded as having one of the world's strongest military forces. Iran's population has been increasing steadily for decades, and grew by nearly 15% in the last decade. Number 16. Vietnam. Total population, 98.2 million. Vietnam is number 44 in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, with high marks for having cheap manufacturing costs and great food. The country's population grew by nearly 10% in the last decade. Number 15. Democratic Republic of Congo. Total population, 99 million. The Democratic Republic of Congo's population grew nearly 40% in the last decade, making it the fastest growing country of any on the list over that time frame. The DRC's population is expected to more than quadruple by the year 2100, according to U.S. Census Bureau projections from 2020. The country was not assessed in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Number 14. Egypt. Total population, 111 million. Egypt, number 34 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, is viewed as being among the world's most unique nations, and is known for its many cultural attractions. Egypt's population has experienced continuous growth since at least the 1960s, and increased by nearly 22% in the last decade. Number 13. Philippines. Total population, 115.6 million. The Philippines is number 43 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is considered one of the best countries to start a business, with some of the cheapest manufacturing costs. Population growth in the Philippines has increased steadily over the past decade, with a 17.9% rise in the last decade. Number 12. Ethiopia. Total population, 123.4 million. The East African country experienced the third largest population increase of any country on the list over the past decade, growing by nearly 31% in the last decade. The country was not assessed in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Number 11. Japan. Total population, 125.1 million. Japan is number 6 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, with the country perceived as a world leader for innovation, technological expertise and skilled labor, and as having well-developed digital infrastructure and an educated population. Since reaching a peak of 128 million in 2010, the country's population has been in decline, falling 2.2% over that time. Number 10. Mexico. Total population, 127.5 million. Mexico is number 33 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is viewed as a leading destination for having great food, and many geographic attractions. With the second largest population in Latin America, Mexico's population grew more than 10% in the last decade. Number 9. Russia. Total population, 144.2 million. Russia is number 37 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and ranked number 1 for being a global leader and for political influence. Russia's population has remained relatively unchanged over the past decade, rising less than 1% in the last decade. Russia is on the U.S. State Department's Do Not Travel list due to its invasion of Ukraine and other factors. Number 8. Bangladesh. Total population, 171.2 million. Bangladesh is number 69 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, with the country regarded as one of the world's leaders for having cheap manufacturing costs. Bangladesh's population has experienced steady growth over the past decade, rising 12.6% in the last decade. Number 7. Brazil. Total population, 215.3 million. Brazil is number 28 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is viewed as one of the world's leading destinations for adventure, also ranking as the most fun country and the sexiest country, according to global survey respondents. Brazil's population grew by 7.7% in the last decade. Number 6. Nigeria. Total population, 218.5 million. The most populous country in Africa, Nigeria has seen its population grow steadily since at least the 1960s, and it increased more than 28% in the last decade. The country was not assessed in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Number 5. Pakistan. Total population, 235.8 million. Located in South Asia, Pakistan is the second largest Muslim-majority country in the world, behind Indonesia. Pakistan's population increased 16.6% in the last decade. The country was not assessed in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. Number 4. Indonesia. Total population, 275.5 million. Indonesia is number 41 in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is seen as having cheap manufacturing costs and is one of the best countries to start a business. Indonesia's population grew 10% in the last decade. Number 3. United States. Total population, 333.3 million. The United States is number 5 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is viewed as being the best country for entrepreneurship, the best country for education and the world's most powerful nation. Population growth in the U.S. remained fairly steady over the past decade, rising 6% in the last decade. Number 2. China. Total population, 1.412 billion. For years the world's most populous country, China fell to second in 2022 after a decade where its population grew by just 4% since 2012, according to World Bank data. China is number 20 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings. It is seen as the second most powerful nation, the most economically influential nation and the nation with the strongest exports. Number 1. India. Total population, 1.417 billion. India is number 30 overall in U.S. News 2024 Best Countries Rankings, and is viewed as one of the world's top countries for future growth and heritage. Population growth in India over the past decade, it grew 11.2% in the last decade, led the country to overtake China as the most populous nation in the world in 2022. So, which is your favorite countries among the top 25 largest countries in the world by population? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 25 largest countries in the world by population in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.